Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wa sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam ajma'een. Welcome back. How are you? How's your family? I hope everything is amazing. Reminder to those not only that are seeking a relationship, but anything. Fasbir. Allah tells us in the Quran, Fasbir. So have patience. Have patience because the inna wa'dallahi haqq. Verily, the promise of Allah is true. And that's facts. That's a certainty. Without a brief story that I'm going to share with you. There is a prayer by Sheikh Muhammad Yaqubi, and it literally includes salawat on the Prophet. Definitely great start to any dua, any request, and a great ending. And it also mentions having a spouse come to our door. And brothers and sisters, I kid you not, it was a month in my situation. It could be longer, it could be shorter for you, but that happened in a halal way, literally over and over again. This, long story short, this very, very much serious suitor responded to an Eid greeting and ended up being in the very same downtown Atlanta area I was. I mean, on the same path, looking to go back into graduate school. And ended up spending the summer studying and all that stuff. At the end, I spoke to sisters. I had also visualized, or by Allah's will, just praying behind my spouse, even before meeting him. For the first time, I was imagining how lovely that would be, how much I would love that to happen. And we prayed together. We prayed behind one another. We talked to my wali about marriage, and after a while, pursue that. And yeah, so it just goes to show that these prayers are no joke. That if it can happen for me, it can definitely happen for you. It's because we were created in God's image. خَلَقَ بَنِي آدَمَ عَلَى سُورَةٍ, Allah tells us. I created the children of Adam in my image. What kind of worth do you have? What kind of worth do we all have? He doesn't say I created this person or that person, a prophet in my image. No, I created the children of Adam, everyone, in my image. Have to understand that there is this reciprocal relationship where, just like in the negative sense, when an abuser is attracted to someone that's codependent, or a narcissist is attracted to an empath, likewise, someone with a wholesome intention and seeking God is going to also be attracted to someone who has wholesome intention seeking God. Someone who is a lover of the Prophet, the beloved, God bless his and peace, is going to be attracted to another who is attracted to that. And someone who is seeking to balance their divine masculine names with their divine feminine names is going to be attracted to someone with whatever they're missing. Sometimes we fill each other's pieces. So it's just a whole dynamic that happens, and there's this interplay, not codependence, but an interdependence of the divine names and of the attributes of God that we humans embody. Saying Surah Al-Duha, and that's a whole nother video in and of itself. I know we say this all the time in the Muslim community spaces, but it's such a rich deen that we have here. Alhamdulillah. But so this Surah Al-Duha, the chapter in the Quran of the dawn, the Prophet ﷺ in this surah is being calm, and Dr. Maraj has a very nice summary of this as well. I was blessed to hear him explain about how it's literally like a child, like how he was saying how when his child's getting ready to jump in the pool and he's gassing him up. He's like, you did this, and didn't I get you? Or he's like, and didn't I get you ice cream that time I promised you? And didn't I this? And didn't I that? So just have confidence. And Allah is doing the same thing in the surah for the Prophet ﷺ, and by extension, all of us, his followers. It's more common, you would say, than Sheikh Yaqubi's dua, I would think. It's more known, perhaps. So yeah, you say Surah Al-Duha 14 times during Fajr in order to attract a spouse or to bring your spouse. Alhamdulillah. And I can again testify to the reality of that because a year after I started it, alhamdulillah. And I'm not saying it's going to take you a year. I encourage you to completely trash timelines, because just like any pursuit, be it weight release or a certain job outcome, like yes, they can be grounding to have that timeline, like that range of how long it typically takes, but sometimes it can also drive you crazy. So just throw it away. Just don't expect anything. And I will continue to preach to the death of me to have no expectations, brothers and sisters, none whatsoever. Standards, yes. Expectations, MashaAllah, let's get into this Quran. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ولا يستوي الحسنات ولا السيئات ادفع بالتي هي أحسن فإذا الذي بينك وبينه عدوة كأنه ولي حميد. The meaning of that is good and evil are not equal. The beautiful and the ugly are not equal. So repel that which is evil with that which is best, and you will see the one that you had enmity with turn as if they were a close friend, as if it were an intimate and constant companion. It's more than just friend. Wali is like a protector, a helper, and then Hamim is just so valuable. It's like, I don't really know what Hamim means, but it's emphasis. It's definitely emphasizing the Wali part. Yeah, intimate friend. And again, I've seen this personally at work, and it really comes back to our perspective. So you have someone who, I mean, I've seen several examples of this. One, just, basic relationships where somebody's in a car and they cut you off and you want to just lay on your horn and go off on them back, and all this negativity may pop into your head. Like, this person is just hateful and I hate people, this and that. That's person one. And then there's another scenario. This is person two. And somebody cuts them off and then they say, hey, I wonder what happened to them today. They must be having a really bad day. And they look into their windshield, and they look at the car next to them and just give them a smile. A really nice, warm smile. They need it. They need that charity, right? Two of the same situations, but totally different perspectives on them. And that, what a difference these two perspectives can make in the lives of our own souls, let alone another person. When we can release our own, because half the time, what is bothering us most is not necessarily what other people are doing, but what we think that they think, right? Because I've told my first graders before, where it's like, if somebody calls you a purple pig, are you gonna believe them? You're gonna laugh it off and be like, what? Are you insane? What does that even mean? Like, it's wild. It's not registering for you. But if somewhere in your mind you think you're purple, you think you're a pig, you think something about yourself that relates to this, like you are inadequate in some way, you might take a little offense. You might get a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And then too, if you've heard that repeatedly, over and over through maybe a course of years, you could take it one of two ways. You can get used to it and just let it roll off your back, or you can have an extra soft spot about it and be very, very hypersensitive to being called a purple pig. I'm giving a lot of psychological mumbo jumbo philosophy. I don't want it to be confused with toxic positivity, brothers and sisters. This is in the Quran itself. This interpretation is not hard to swallow. And many people push back against this today. Very, very people for good reason. Because it's often mistaken to mean be a doormat. This is not your license, brothers and sisters, to be a doormat, right? Because in the end, this is not about the other person. It's not even about your own soul. Most beloved example, the Prophet ﷺ and the wife of Abu Lahab, who would leave out thorns and just harass him and torture him and provoke him. And he actually went to check on her, of all things, when she got sick. He could have been like, God, whew, I'm glad she's off my back. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of us would have gone the extra mile to be like, she had it coming to her. Rub it in her face a little bit, without even thinking twice. And yet Allah is telling us the opposite, to treat them with what is best, like our most ahsan, our excellent example. The Prophet ﷺ, bless his soul, and peace, go and check on that person. Look into the situation. This is emotional intelligence 101, brothers and sisters, right in the book of Allah. We go low, we go high. That's something that Michelle Obama is known for saying, and I have so much respect for her and Obama's relationship. Also imperfect, but beautiful. When they go low, we go high. And I want to challenge you to think of example in your life, because you are capable of it. And I know myself, I may be like, you know what, that's them, that's not me. That's the Prophet ﷺ, this is Miriam. But I challenge you, because I challenge myself to this, I've been challenged to this, and I guarantee you that when you really dig deep, you will find situations where you have been able to go high when others have gone low. So in addition to just doing that for your own personal reflection, I also ask that you share that with us in the comments. Encourage others to kindness. In this day and age, brothers and sisters, we need this. Everybody can use it. And it does make a difference. It has a ripple effect. Just like that negativity, there can be a train wreck when it comes to somebody cutting someone off in traffic. There can be this chain effect, this butterfly effect, when kindness precedes our own egos, our own need for validation of that ego that just wants to sometimes put other people down. Sometimes wants to put ourselves on a pedestal to feel right. We'd rather feel right than to be kind. I say this all to myself first, y'all. I hope you know this. We often project our own negativity, our own biases onto people. Sometimes, they're genuinely just pains in the you-know-what, and they got a chip on their shoulder, and this, that, and the third. But most times, more often than not, you will find people are doing the best they can with what they have. And if they aren't doing well, they don't have much. Let's leave on that note. Thank you so much for listening. Again, if you know the prayer by Chef Yapui, drop it in the comments below, please. Until next time, please take care of yourselves. Take care of your families. I love you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Divine peace, mercy, and favor on you and those with you.